Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to Tale of Four Gamers. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. So
Hello.
if you're new to Tale of Four Gamers, this is what we do. Roughly once a month, we do a lovely little episode where we all together build some sort of army. At the moment, it's Warhammer 40k. Part of the fun of this is that we get people to join in. We do it like a bit like the old Tale of Four Gamers articles that used to happen in White Dwarf, or maybe still happen in White Dwarf, where four people build an army together. We usually use it as an excuse to keep track of our hobbying and also to play some actual new games and get through the world of Warhammer. Here are our Tale of Four Gamers, Russ and Bobbie. I'm pointing in the right way there. And then Gary. Okay, it's that direction. Yes, correct. Brilliant. There's Gary. Are all going to give their updates. We're going to look in on how far we've got after finishing Kill Team and being about to start Combat Patrol. Finally, we will look at everyone's community updates, which people can submit via the Patreon. Then very finally, we have a new thing, which is that I will be giving away this Army Painter Mega Paint set, and the results are in, and so we're going to judge the winner of that right at the end. So it's a bit of a bumper edition, but on the other hand, we haven't done that much, so shouldn't take too long. See you after this. Hi, we're back. I actually pressed the wrong thing twice there to play the intro sequence. So hey, I've probably cut that out by the time you're watching this. Hi everyone, how's it all going? It's like 3 days before Christmas.
Yeah, very good. How are you doing?
Very like 3 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
Insofar as it is in fact 3 days before Christmas. Hey, you could edit this really quickly and it could be your Christmas present to the world.
It almost is a Christmas present. I think our presents, Russ, is a Christmas present to the world. That's how I like to think of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all get. I mean, I feel like we're going to get to this in the updates, but I feel like some of us have been doing very well at this, and some of us have been doing a last-minute update. I am in the latter category. Would that be accurate to say? I think Bobbie and Gary might be doing very well.
Well, I've still not painted any Space Marines, so doing okay.
You've got a lot of them.
Yeah, they're assembled. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm doing well largely by virtue of cheating and using models I mostly painted a long time ago but never finished.
Yeah, but there's always someone doing that.
And it's always Russ.
Yeah, it's always
No,
us.
it's not.
So while we're here, before we get into what we reckon and what we've been doing this month, I'm just going to go through the section that I still haven't made a little lower third for, which is news. We've got messages, everyone. There's news. Here are the newses. First, as mentioned before, there is now some merch. It's Christmas, so buy yourself a Christmas present. Maybe a lovely T-shirt with our names on it, or maybe this extremely good taste hat about the Badab War. Sorry, what's that? Oh yeah, Russ has the hat on right now, demonstrating that. That should hopefully get. Let me just. Yeah, there you are, Russ. I managed to
keep it on. Why not keep it on? It's cold in this room anyway.
Could do, yeah. Brilliant. So there's the merch announcement. Next announcement. Last month, I did a little Black Library thing for Elegoo, who likes sending us printers. But the printer didn't arrive in time because I wasn't in the studio very much. So I'd like to just say the printer arrived, and it's one of those ones with filament which I've never used. And Jesus, is it good? Oh my God, filament printing, everyone. I don't know why. Like. There's no chemicals, there's no cleanup, there's no smelly resins, there's no
It
need
sounds
for
like
masks.
the sort of thing I would like to own, actually.
Yeah, it's
like
it's
how much
actually...
is the actual initial purchasing costs a lot higher, or what?
No, they're about the same. I think it's like a couple of £100 or something. And they I got the basic one, the Neptune 4, and honestly, apart from a little bit of assembly, which is very easy to do, I followed a little YouTube guide. It pretty much worked out of the box, and it's not quite as high res as the resin ones for little parts I wouldn't do on it, but for anything chunky, as long as you get your head around it, like just the ability to print something and then remove it and that's it, it's there, is incredible. I've been using it to do
like that's what appeals to me.
Yeah, it's all that chemicals and smelly stuff gets really annoying after a while.
The Neptune 4, I'm just literally loaded up the website off the back of you saying this, and the Neptune 4 without any fancy extras and gubbins is £152 at the moment.
That's really good. Yeah, that's the one I've been
nothing.
using. One of the things that's really hard to do on resin printers is flat surfaces, big long flat things because of the weight. So one of the things I've been really enjoying on this is bases, like printing bases. I got out my Blender skills, downloaded some base STLs, and then hollowed out the bottom of them to reduce on plastic, and I've been printing those. So anyway, that's second message, which is second message. Should have done it last time, but didn't get the printer in time. You can go and get one of them. I think I've got an affiliate link in the thing below as well, so I don't know if that helps. Then third message in the news category. Yeah, as I said, we'll be giving away this Army Paint the Paint set at the end of the episode. We're going to do it last. Thank you for all the entries. There have been, I think, 76 entries to give away with people's stories of their piles of shame and general shame. So we're going to do that at the end. Yeah.
Can I just say, you've basically just told everyone to skip 45 minutes of us whittering on just to go to the end to see if they've won, right?
Yeah, but then they'll be so interested by how charismatic we are that they'll go back and watch the rest of the video, right?
Okay, that's fair.
And also, we have the final news item, which is that we've booked the next event. So this is going to open to people on the Discord, patrons first. So just so that you know how this works, generally there's a patron and a YouTube membership scheme attached to the channel. At certain levels, it gives people Discord access, and on the Discord is where we run all the community stuff for that. And the first thing I'll do is put up the dates for the event. But at the start of February, we've booked some tables at Warhammer World, and we're going to play our Combat Patrol version of the Badab War, Phase 3 of the Badab War. So I'll be putting those up now. When people on the Patreon see them, they can fill in the gaps. And if we don't fill all the spaces, I'll then open it to all the free members on Patreon and the people at lower tiers, and we'll see how that goes. But basically, yeah, at the moment, we're going to do 24 places at Warhammer World on the 1st and 2nd of February. We hopefully will all be there. We're all trying to get time off to do it. But Warhammer World's not available for the rest of the month. So that's when we're going to do it. And then we'll all play Combat Patrol there. So we have until then to learn. Has anyone actually had a look? One of my questions was, I've started this in the notes and I've not finished it because it didn't work. Has anyone actually had a look at playing Combat Patrol yet? Or are we all just building army?
Yeah, I'm just building blind the basic Space Marine Combat Patrol. The first one I looked at, yeah, I can do that.
I think that's kind of one of the advantages of Combat Patrol, because you don't. The army is just the army. You have to build it as prescribed in the Combat Patrol.
Yeah,
There's no options or anything. So you just build you pick one and you build it. You don't have to have that foreknowledge of what are the good weapon options, what are the
I was shocked at how little you get to choose. You don't even get to choose the power weapon type that your sergeant's holding.
Yeah, that's true. Although you do get to choose between their special rule upgrade, right?
I haven't seen that bit, but
the commander's enhancement. So the warlord trait essentially for your commander.
Okay.
You pick that.
We're not playing till February though, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're not. We don't need to be ready until February. Yeah.
So I don't need to know the rules until
February,
right?
Yeah, we've got a month before we need. I didn't know if it was just people had even looked. I did this thing in the notes where I was going to do this thing where I went through. I actually loaded up Auspex Tactics. If it has a Auspex Tactics video about what's the best combat patrol, and I wanted to look up and see what have we picked? Are they rated well or badly or something? But the problem is Eons of Battle has one as well, and I was going to look at them and I was reading through. And they're standard videos, Auspex Tactics, very, very big channel. It's a PowerPoint with a very dry man giving his he's great, but it's almost comedically direct. It's well, here's what's good and here's what's bad. And then Eons is a charismatic YouTuber that I know Gary watches a lot. And
yeah, we love Jay.
But the problem is neither of them do the Phobos Battle Force. Because it's not a combat patrol box.
It's such a mysterious force. And no one knows quite what
so sneaky.
It's too sneaky.
It doesn't appear in any tier lists.
Yeah, so I was going to do that. I was going to do and here's who's picked the best one. But given that two of us have picked Space Marines, one of us have picked Space Wolves is what I'm going to do. I'll tell you about why later. And one of us has picked Phobos. There's only 3, and if we can't do one of them, then so I gave up on that idea. From what I could tell, the Space Wolves one and the Space Marines one are both considered mid-level of power. They're a bit weird. The units are okay, but not great. The Space Wolves one, and it's like it's got a walkie frame dreadnought thing. It's considered to be like they're getting rid of those sort of things from combat patrols because it's mostly troops now. So that's all right. But yeah, both of them are considered mid-power. But because Phobos isn't an actual box set combat patrol, no one has a review, so therefore they can't compare a third of the armies. One thing I was suggesting to do is I wonder if there's a YouTuber out there who might be up for teaching us how to play Warhammer. Yeah, because there are people, right, who I
don't think there's any YouTubers who really focus on Warhammer, though. I think
there's no YouTubers who focus on the gameplay. I mean, everyone knows the money's in lore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So the thing that I just remembered, what it was is we were chatting in the Discord that the combat patrols are so set that they don't even benefit from updates. So
interesting.
They're not going to rebalance them, it seems. So even though you're saying that Space Marine combat patrol is mid-level, things that have gotten buffs since, like the 5-man Pyromaniac squad, what are they called?
The
Flamer guys.
Yes.
They've had a buff in the regular 40k, and everybody's going, oh, they're quite good now. So obviously they were lacking, and it's probably at that level of lacking is where the combat patrol's now stuck because they don't buff the old.
Well, they don't get the same updates.
But bear in mind that the data sheets you use for combat patrol are different data sheets.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, so they're not getting updated. But also they had differences, so they might not be the fact that say that Flamer gang, that Flamer squad is bad in regular 40k doesn't necessarily mean it's bad in combat patrol.
Sure.
Because it's a different data sheet, right? In a different version of the game with different upgrades.
It just seems like if they're not going to do updates at all, never. It just seems like it's not a serious part of the line for them. It's just something that they've put together for free, pretty much.
Or maybe I think it's definitely intended as like what we're using it for, right? It's intended as an intro rather than a full evolving game mode. But I also wonder if like the way they're going to do updates for it is every so many years when they release a new codex, they release a new combat patrol, like what just happened to Blood Angels.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the update thing, is they just go like it used to be, basically. Like, yeah, that one's a bit underpowered, but in a couple of years they'll get their codex update and we'll just redo the combat patrol.
Yeah, it just seems like they're laissez-faire about it. You know, it's not Kill Team where they go, we're going to do like a yearly tac ops and update and try and balance people who've been falling behind and not getting used.
Yeah, I wonder also
I think if your combat patrol sucks, you're just stuck with it.
I think that's true. But I think also, I wonder if part of the reasoning is if combat patrol is intended for beginners, like Kill Team isn't intended for beginners, right? It's like its own very deliberately competitive game mode. If combat patrol is intended for beginners, you don't want there to be FAQs and downloads and extra pieces of documentation. You want people to be able to just play it, right?
Yeah. I would agree with no FAQs like erratas, but to just remove the data sheet for the Space Marine Combat Patrol and upload it again, you know, as Mark II, that's easy, isn't it?
It is. It's just whether you want your kid, right, your 12-year-old kid with their Space Marine Codex that gives them the rule for their combat patrol to then find out that actually they need to download a PDF to get a new one. I don't know. Is that a big problem?
Well, you got to download it the first time. You don't actually get
it's in the Codex.
Combat Patrol. Is it?
It's in the Codex.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So in the Codex they have it. Yeah.
Right. That's the problem then, isn't it?
And then I would guess, I haven't bought a Combat Patrol box set, but I would guess it's in the box set as well.
Again, I wouldn't know because I've put mine together from eBay stuff. So,
so yeah, agreed. I mean, yeah, I think it's very much intended to be the intro thing, but I guess that's what we're using it as. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, from what I've heard, the Space Marine one's a mid. That one of the reasons I heard on the All Specs Tactics video that the Space Marine one was a bit mid was because it wasn't that the Flamers were bad. It was that it's got more characters than can join the units. I think you might be in a situation where you can pick either the Terminator Captain or Librarian to join the Terminator unit, and the other one has to walk around on his own because he can't join the Power Armored unit, which is a bit weird.
Okay.
Something like that. But I didn't go. When I realised he wasn't doing all of them, I stopped watching. So
that's weird. Yeah. Because the Librarian's a Terminator armor, it can't go with the
Maybe.
Marine.
I mean, we haven't read the rules.
In current 10th edition, all the characters have like a list of units that they're allowed to join, and they can't join anything else.
It does seem very restrictive. Like they don't just say infantry can go in all vehicles. It's like Primaris can only go in floating tanks. They won't go in ones with tracks. I
think they go in Land Raiders now.
Well,
yeah,
they don't like any true-born stuff. So
yeah, that was a thing for a while.
Do they even
no?
Do they even have rhinos in 40k now, or are they purely for heresy?
Yeah, they're still in.
They're still there, and obviously like you've got Chaos Marines and Sisters of Battle and things.
Oh yeah,
true. Yeah. So they still exist. But yeah, so well, there we are. That's us not having a clue, speculating about what the rules we could easily just read in one of those books up there might be.
We're talking about something we've not even looked at yet.
We've not even looked at it, and it's just laziness because we've all got the rules. Like we've all got the rules. We've just not read them.
Well, yeah, as you know, Ian, we don't play with unpainted models.
That's true. So there's no point until we painted them.
Yeah.
Exactly. I need to. One of the things I should actually do is reach out to a few hot game YouTubers and see if they want to do a collaboration of like, we teach these idiots how to play Warhammer. Would be that's what I suggested their video's called. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe Vanguard Tactics or Tabletop Tactics are like, we teach these four fools how to play their game they talk about constantly.
God, we'll be made into competitive wargamers, Ian.
That's the idea. The only true competitive format for the game is Combat Patrol, as we all know, especially when you're all playing the Badab War, and therefore all have the same army.
Yeah.
We might as well just go play chess at this point, mightn't we?
No, right? Yeah.
Taylor 4 Grandmasters.
Yeah. I was in New York the other month, and I was walking through one of those parks where the old men do chess, and they were like, "Hey, you want to come and have a game of chess?" And I was like, "That feels like a bad idea." I last played chess in 1997. I mean, yeah, I think I've played. The only game I haven't played as long as that is Magic.
I played Magic more recently than chess, I think. Although having said that, I did on a holiday resort play a game of chess where it's the big boards they have at holiday resorts. We have to physically pick up the parts and move them around like this, and you practically like the pieces are like the size of a small, and so as an adult you have to walk around moving the piece. I played against my wife, and I was winning really well, and then she beat me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't play chess anymore." Then.
It's more difficult to play, I guess.
I couldn't even blame the dice for it because there weren't any.
More difficult when you can't see the whole board at once, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So, with everything there talked about, let's do the individual updates. Now, how have I done it in this? I think I started off with Gary. You've done a load of building, right?
Yeah, I've assembled most of my. Well, all my Combat Patrol are assembled. They just need to be undercoated and then stuck on their bases and painted. So I started off by building the Flamer Marines.
Yep.
Going for the standard. The Infernus Marines, which are normally Primaris from the standard Combat Patrol, but because we're doing Badab and I wanted to go with Trueborn, I've made some with Mark 7 heads, shoulder pads, and chest plate. And then to give them a little bit of height back towards the Primaris, I've used Mark 3 legs with keeping the majority of the model like the back of the chest plate. And then I've used...
Oh, yeah, that works really well because Mark 7 would have knee pads, right? So that actually works. I didn't notice that style. It actually works really well.
Yeah. I didn't want to use the Primaris legs and stuff. So, it looks like they've just got Flamer knee pads of some sort. But yeah, Mark 3 knee pad.
Special flamer knee pads to repel the heat from the most the most heat sensitive part of your body.
Yeah,
that as we
Which
all know.
everybody knows is your knees, right?
Yeah.
And so and then I used the Mark 6, is it, flamer arms from Horse Heresy, just to get the old retro flamers, because I think the new flamers look a bit crazy and sort of, I don't know why they've had to jazz them up. A flamer should have a conical barrel, really, shouldn't it?
Everyone knows that. Flamers have conical barrels. It's only
that's how the flame comes out.
Yeah, we're still against that change from 1998, where they put flamers with holy barrels.
I still think Tyranids are newfangled.
What a town!
The Tyranid should be that little one that looks like a little 6-legged dog in the Rogue Trader rulebook. All these Tyranid warriors standing up on their hind legs. This is all newfangled shit to me.
God,
like Necrons and Tau.
Welcome
Come
to
on, why do we need new
stuff?
Just do the old stuff well.
Tale of 40,000-year-old
Tale of 4 old bastards.
Anyway, so flamers all looking good there. With some old-fashioned flamers.
For the rest of it, it's pretty easy. I just got the Leviathan stuff off eBay. The new Terminators are wonderful. They're really big and chunky. They're much, when you sit them next to like Marines and stuff, they do look imposing. So I've got the Terminator Captain, the Terminator Librarian, and the Squad of 5. They went together really easily. The only changes I made was the heads on the Captain and the Librarian.
Yep.
They were given
a
helmet.
Bareheaded.
Yeah, and you get shot in the face, it's not going to work, is it? So they've got helmets on. And that's it. I think they look okay with the helmets. The Librarian's a bit clunky because he's wearing a helmet and a hood.
Yeah. But that's okay. There's some Heresy Librarians wearing a helmet and a hood.
Yeah.
So it's not completely crazy.
Fine.
It does mean you don't have to paint faces.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, spray them silver and they're pretty much done.
The one thing it makes me think of, though, is in Dredd, when Judge Dredd is cross with Judge Anderson for not wearing a helmet. And she's like, oh, yeah, my helmet, though, can interfere with my psychic abilities.
Yeah.
So Olivia Thirlby's like, well, no, we all want to see her face in the film. So there's at least one person with an expression that we can read apart from their chin going...
Some character development.
It is well established that librarians and psychics can't wear helmets, right?
Well, wizards can't wear armor, but not for Space Marines because they're paladins.
And obviously, Judge Dredd replies with he thinks a bullet will interfere with her ability.
I love that line.
Which is where I'm going with. Put your helmet on. The Emperor provides you with a helmet. Put it on. That's how he protects.
The Emperor also provides you, in this case, with some nipple shields. Are they part of the kit, or did you just glue those on?
Oh, they're on. I still have to trim the contact points on those. But he's very well protected, isn't he? He's got an iron halo, 2 nipple shields. He's got his helmet on. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
bulletproof.
So that's one Space Marine Combat Patrol and the matching bases for the terrain all ready to go.
Yeah, all GW plastic bases, except the Captain, who I had to sort of fudge because he's on a 50 mil and they don't make a 50 mil space base.
He needs a flatbed 3D printer. I could make you one of those, Gary.
Oh, well, yeah.
So I need a 50 mil base for my Captain, do I?
Yeah, all the Captains from 50 now, yeah. I reckon it's just because they needed to fit the dead Tyranid warrior on the base. Is it a warrior or a swarm lord or something?
Okay, good, brilliant. What else you been up to?
We played Shadespire. We tried that.
New Shadespire. Yeah. Thank you, Games Workshop, for sending me Emberguard and the dinosaurs that I painted last month. We've now played with them.
Yeah. So I painted up the tunnel pack. What's his name? Zicker. I don't know.
Who are they called? Yes, the
tunnel pack. Yeah, they were fun. I did like waiting till round 3 before exploding my bomb rat. He gets
who's called
more
Tick
powerful. Tick? Yeah, Tick Tick the bomb rat.
Yeah, Tick Tick the bomb rat.
Names. I was really skeptical about getting rid of the flavorful the rivals decks, like the faction decks, but
they were actually really good.
There was just enough flavor retained on the card. I think we're going to miss the flavorful objectives. Like that's where the lack. Everybody will be doing the same things.
Yeah.
Whereas when you had your 12,
it'll change over time, though, won't it?
Yeah, I think we'll I think as the more Rivals decks come out, we might find that different. But the game flowed really smoothly.
Yeah, we've only played one game, so it's early doors. We'll see. Maybe everybody using similar decks is good because you'll know what they're doing. It might be that the trade-off there might be worthwhile.
Yeah.
The slightly smaller board is good. All the hexes are a little bit smaller.
Yeah, annoying if you don't have the new tokens, but if you do, then yeah, all good. Yeah. For some reason, my Ember Guard set came without the objective token, without the token sheet, which was a bit annoying. Maybe it was one of those annoying. I got it for free, so I'm not fucking complaining. But
well, mine came with tokens, or else I would have complained.
But no, mine didn't. So don't know where they've gone. But the game was really fun. And then you tried to get hold of the cards.
Oh, it was the same weekend that we were all playing
Kill Team
at Badman. Yeah, so we were playing the Kill Team tournament. So I think like about 1 o'clock, I remembered, I should get on and get the cards, and I put them in the basket. Went to PayPal, it all went through, and I closed my phone. And then when I checked later, it hadn't gone through. Like it got knocked back by GW, and so I tried again that night, and I tried twice again the next day. Still saying it was in stock on the web store. It goes in the basket, goes through to PayPal, all that. PayPal says, yeah, that's good. And then it goes back to GW, and GW goes, we've taken that out of your basket. What's the problem? So
you just couldn't get one.
So yes, I didn't get it. So I called up customer service, and they were like, oh yeah, that's out of stock. There was a glitch at the weekend, and sucks to be you. You can't get one.
Was that their official words?
I might have been paraphrasing, but they did call it a glitch, and I thought that's a bit rich. If you've got a web store and its one job is to sell people things, and it's not doing that, that's not a glitch. That's a major malfunction. I think they should have said, sorry, we had a major malfunction at the weekend, and I would feel a little bit less gaslit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you complaining about?
I wanted cards.
Yeah.
Well,
what are you complaining about? You should be grateful. You should be grateful we even let you pretend to buy the cards.
So the whole point when they said, we're updating it, chuck away all your old cards, but don't worry, you don't have to get rid of the plastic. You can get cards and use your gangs. And then when I said, can I have some gangs, please? They go, no. You can't. No, Gary, you can't have cards.
I'm sure there'll be cards again at some point. In the meantime,
no.
I found a nice little link where someone has taken the download ones from this website and formatted them for 6x4 photo printing at the nearest boots. So I'm going to try and test that today and see if that works. So all those download ones can be printed out all nice. So I'm going to test that today. Also, I found some. I'll put an image up. I found some Amazonable sleeves, which are actually for ID cards, which are slightly bigger than the big card and very cheap, and so you can fit your fighter cards in them, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So you can have a little wallet basically that does each gang.
Wallet, yeah.
Yeah. And then you've been painting space skeletons as well in the world of not this Tale of Four Gamers.
Yes. Well, after Games Workshop pissed me off, I went away for a week or so going, I'm not painting your stuff. I painted some space skeletons, which are 3D purchases. And then I dug through my bits box and I found old Rogue Trooper Mongoose Games models and stuff. So I dug out one of those, painted her using the John Hodgson's backdrop. Had a fun day of messing around with that. And then for Christmas, I did the Krampus from Mantic Games, which is from the Hellboy series.
From the Hellboy series, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Brilliant. All looking really good. So just had some fun painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Brilliant. Lots of progress. So you've got a combat patrol that now it's just painting it silver, basically.
Yeah, I've got to spray it silver and ink it black and done.
Brilliant. Great. Blue. There we go. Well, Bobbie, what have you been up to? You've been also progressing well on your combat patrol.
Yeah, I've definitely made a start. I decided that I was going to, after actually playing Kill Team, I decided I quite liked it. So I've taken my 10 infiltrator marines that are from the combat patrol and made them as the operatives for the Phobos kill team as well. So I can, if I want to go and play some kill team with them, I've got all of the specialists to do that. And I think for combat patrol, no one's going to complain that my infiltrators all have weird different weapons, because in combat patrol there's no like specialists in that unit anyway.
No.
They're all just
guys.
Regular guy with bolter is the only stat line for the infiltrators. So it shouldn't be too confusing. Think I've got my green sorted. I'm not entirely happy with it, but it's looking okay.
You're Raptors, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So far, it's just Death Guard green with Bieltan green as like a filter shade over the top, which is looking very green.
Have you left the heads off because you're doing beaky? Is that right?
No, I'm using the infiltrator heads on them. It's just easier to paint them separately.
Okay.
I always find getting that bit round behind the back of the neck difficult to do if you paint with the Marines head glued on. So paint them separately and glue them on. Same with the backpacks, and a couple of the arms are separate just to make it a little easier. Yeah, they're going to be quite a I would almost say boring paint scheme. They're going to be green, and I'm going to paint some leather on them and some black and silver, and that put some transfers on, and that's about it. They're not the most complicated scheme. There's not lots of trims and bits and pieces. So I have added quite a lot of extra like pouches and grenades and stuff, because if they're behind the lines operatives, they're going to need to carry extra.
Very pouchy. And then you've done their bouncy guys too.
Yeah, the suppressors. I'm still not quite happy with the conversions I've done, but they're the new assault intercessors with jump packs, and then the autocannons from the Horus Heresy range.
They look good.
Rather than the normal ones. They're just, I don't know. I like the actual suppressor models. I've painted them up for a couple of other armies, and I just wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
And try and make them like a little bit not lighter, but just
not because the normal ones have like almost frames around their legs and weird things like that, don't they?
Yeah, and like the autocannons have got like a big belt feed and stuff, and they look quite beefy. Whereas I quite like the magazine fed autocannons. From the Horus Heresy. And I have sort of started the characters as well, but they're still in. I'm still waiting for some bits to arrive so I can. There's more conversions. Somehow I'm doing 17 models, and every single one of them's got conversion.
You've gone the other way for me. I took the easy option.
I've made my life as difficult as possible by making everything a conversion.
But then you've also ventured into the realm of nostalgia with these ancient guys.
Yeah, I've painted up some tech priests, which might end up being in a Badab game at some point, because there
Angstrom exists.
Angstrom Forge World. So these are a mix of the Skulls promotional Adeptus Mechanicus tech priests, and there's a couple of the later sort of like fourth or fifth edition tech priests in there as well. This is for my second edition Adeptus Mechanicus army, which isn't really a thing, but I'm making it a thing.
They look amazing.
They look really good. Are these like the Skulls ones, right?
Yeah. So like 4 of them there are the Skulls ones, and 2 of them are later, like early 2000s miniatures. But
brilliant.
Your fire weapons really pop. I love it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've just managed to work out how to do is that particular style of power weapon, and it makes the whole miniature look like I've put some effort in.
Although if you put some snow on the bases, they'd be very Christmassy.
Yeah, this has been mentioned when they were originally sprayed white undercoat, and before I painted the bases green, they were very Santa with an axe. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Amazing. That looks brilliant. So yeah, progress all round. You're almost there with your combat patrol. Russ, how have you been doing with your combat patrol? Lamenters sticking with, right?
Yeah, so I painted my Lamenters for the kill team event. I've still got to finish a handful of them to turn them into a complete tactical squad, but that's fine. That can be done down the line. But immediately following the kill team event, I got distracted because I had the Horus Heresy event down in Guildford I was going to, in the one that the one that Heresy Hammer organise, and they do fantastic events. So basically finally got some oils on some of my models for that. Had 4 really fun games with them, thinking at some point I might actually use their rules pack. They put that out and say people are free to run their own events using their pack. So at some point I might try and organise that.
Okay.
But I feel like the models there, they've finally got the oil washes and they're starting to look kind of like finished.
Great.
But yeah, that then I've moved on to my combat patrol, which will be Lamenters. Yep. And by virtue of cheating, I am actually, I think, ahead of the rest of you somewhat. Largely because, I had these Terminators years ago that I never quite finished, and I've got 5 of them where the yellow is
right.
They're the Space Hulk ones, but I cut the Space Hulk bases off, ironically, so I can then reattach them at some point to spaceship floors. So they will go on either Zone Mortalis or the same one Gary's got. I can't remember what they're called, but either
Admech Sector or something.
Admech Sector or something. They'll go on some spaceshipy looking floors of some sort at the very least. So yeah, this is how I want the yellow to look for all of the Terminators. And the reason I actually never finished them is because I didn't have any of the old Sunburst yellow colour that Citadel used to do. And then I somehow I came across one that I think this might have been mine that I had just, it had gone somewhere. And similarly, I got this one as part of a job lot, and I've managed to just about make them usable. So then I'm down to the next batch of 5, and I'm doing the yellow on the next batch. And the only issue with Sunburst Yellow is that it is incredibly thin and low poor coverage to begin with. And now that I've had to mix them with water and matte medium to get them usable at all, I was already doing for the first squad there. That was already at least 5 layers of Sunburst Yellow, if I remember rightly. But it goes on really easily after the first coat, so it's not like it's that tiresome. It's just long rather than actually hard. But I'm going to get 10 Terminators done straight away, so that I've got 10 Terminators for the army when we go up to after combat patrol boarding actions, right?
Yeah, boarding actions.
Yeah. Because obviously, you want to. I'm going to guess, and I haven't remotely looked at the rules because who looks at the rules?
Yeah, no one does that.
But I'm going to work on the assumption that Terminators will be good in boarding actions.
In boarding actions,
it's their main job, right?
Yeah.
I have actually had a little peek at that, and one of the boarding action armies is pretty much two squads of 5 Terminators and a character, and that's the entire 1,500 point army is something like that.
Good.
Well, I can make that happen, and even if I need more, I've got another squad of 10 more Terminators in a box that I bought a very long time ago from Dave Rosewell from Hate, from our very, very long ago Hate campaign of Badab. But I've got 12 Terminators for now, because I'm going to set it up so I can either run 2 assault cannon marines or 2 heavy flamer marines. And rather than magnetizing them, I just bought extras of each model. Don't know why. It would have been easier probably to magnetize them, but back in those days I didn't tend to magnetize stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be even more frugal about my Infernus Marines.
Yeah.
They are those 5 dudes you see there are all ones that have come in job lots, or I think there's one from Assault on Blackreach.
Blackreach Marines,
one that came after it. Etc. So some of them are Assault on Blackreach, some of them are the set after, some of them might even be the set before. I'm not sure. But the one thing that bugs me about Flamers is the flat nozzle. So I know Gary doesn't like this sort of nozzle at all, but the thing I dislike is the actual the end of it being completely flat, and I don't have any proper flat black paint, so I've just drilled out the barrel, drilled out a rod, and then put the rod into the hole I drilled, just so it's got something, so it looks like an actual.
You could have got some heresy pattern flamers and then stuck them on the end,
Yeah,
so it would have both nozzles.
Double nozzle.
That would be silly.
Yes.
But there is at least one design of flamer in the heresy that is actually both nozzles, and I think it must have just been someone sitting in the design studio going, "What do you want to complain about this?"
Yeah.
Then it'll be same deal. Librarian from Space Hulk. He's already on a base that I made, and then this Terminator Captain. I think he was like the standard one for a while. He's also Dave Rosewell. I got him from, but I'm gonna strip him and repaint him to get him to the same yellow as my guys.
Cool.
And that's pretty much it for me at the moment.
You've still got to remove a few Blood Angel icons and stuff.
Well,
I mean, they're Blood Angel successors, so I'm just going to work on the assumption that it's stuff where they were originally gifted them by the Blood Angels, and they've just honoured the chapter they got them from. I have on a bunch of them removed the most blatant Blood Angel stuff.
Yeah,
but there is a blood drop on the Lamenter's iconography. They're Blood Angel successors. I feel like I'm just going to justify it with the background fluff of them being, we still love Blood Angels. You know, we're cool with that.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, that's all good. So again, good progress. We're almost there. I haven't made as much painting progress, a bit like Gary. I have mostly built things though. I was in a bit of a thing last month where I was like, I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. I've been painting some orange stuff. I enjoyed painting it, and I thought a nice little Christmas project will be to do Firehawks again, because I want to get more use out of them, the kill team. So what I'm going to do is Firehawks. And the closest thing I can build with the models I have is that, weirdly, something analogous to the Space Wolves Combat Patrol. So the Space Wolves Combat Patrol is 10 intercessors with bolt guns and 5 reavers, which I'm choosing to interpret as guys with bolt pistols and knives. Easy. And then a commander with a power weapon, and it's got one of the walkie frame dreadnought, not dreadnoughts things, the Invictus tactical war suits. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to interpret that as 10 bolt gun marines, 5 guys with bolt pistol and knife. My chaplain being the leader because he's already got a power weapon, and I've got a dreadnought. So I started assembling them, and this is where I got so far. They're all undercoated, so I'm going to start doing oranges over Christmas. So this is another 7 guys. They're all Legion of the Damned, although I've started to spread the bits around a bit so that I can use a few normal Marine bits to just get my numbers up. So I've got 3 bolt guns in the kill team. I'll add to these 6 more bolt gun guys, and then I'm going to add in. I've got a Sergeant Centurious from ages ago, from like my teenage self in the 90s. And at some point in the 90s, he got mangled. I've lost his arm that holds the chainsaw out, and at some point, I chopped off his hand holding a skull. So he's gone into the biostrip soup, and when he comes out, I'm gonna have to sculpt a new skull hand on him. But Sergeant Centurious will lead the tactical squad, and then the dreadnought is, as you can see, it's one of the old chaplain dreadnought bodies, which is it was an old Forge World model. You could get a different chaplain dreadnought, which is full of skulls and little bones everywhere. So that's a good dreadnought for them. Yep. And then I've given them a normal old plastic dreadnought power fist and a Chaos dreadnought twin autocannon, which, because the Chaos dreadnought twin autocannon from the 90s has a little skull on it as well and a little trim. So he should look good. It's going to be a bit of a stretch because the Invicta tactical warsuit has like 1 million guns. It's got like it's got a claw and a twin autocannon, but also like a twin heavy stubber, and the claw, he can just pick up a heavy bolter and fire it. So it's a little bit of a stretch. But for the sake of the combat patrol day, I think this will be fine. And of course, the Reavers technically have like grav shoots, But realistically, the only actual in-game effect is that they can deep strike, and then they're just on foot. So I think just 5 guys with knives who deep strike in, sneaky guys, will work.
Yeah.
Rather than giving them, because if I give them jump packs, it'll look like they're jump marines. So yeah, that's the idea. Like, I've got all these assembled. I'm hoping to get all the oranges done this week, and then I'm slightly running out of models. But Bobbie has kindly offered to send me 4 new, 4 old metal Legion of the Damned guys. So thank you for that, Bobbie. And that will bump my numbers up to where they need to be to do all those models. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm going to do a load of orange painting over the week, and we'll play
if you
Firehawks
do want to try and expand this, because I know you're planning to do the Star Phantoms after this at some stage. But I do, and I don't know whether they're the right era for the ones you're trying to do. But I do have some Legion of the Damned models in my pile of opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you do want to then expand this army a bit more after that, I should be able to. I mean, even if they're not quite the same era as the other ones, they'll be usable. I would expect if you want some more.
Centurious is an earlier edition than all the other ones, so I think they're going to be a bit mixed anyway. Like Centurious is from the 2nd edition where they painted on the flames. So yeah, and then basically all the rest of the models are 3rd edition, 4th edition.
So in the regular in the Space Marine Codex, do we still have access to box dreadnoughts?
I think you've got something
like ancients or something.
Yes, there's still an option for like venerable dreadnought.
Yeah, so that's great. So I would not go to town converting it into Invictus War set. I would just for the combat patrol keep it, as he's got extra psychic shooting attacks or something.
Yeah, or I'll like blue tack some autocannons to his head or something.
Yeah,
But
then once we get to boarding actions, he becomes venerable.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the idea. So yeah, that's the army. So we now have 2 community things to do. Are we ready, everyone? Because there's been loads of community updates today. People are actually starting to get quite big armies now. So I'll start with this fantastic entry. Warp Wing has done a 10-man squad of Badab camo Infernus Marines in wibbly wobbly pattern, which everyone likes. These look incredible, and there's 10 of them. So I like the flamers with chain blades on. That's quite fun.
Yeah, it's definitely makes them more menacing.
Yeah, all different sorts of flamers. With some of them are the actual Infernus, some of them are like heresy pattern Infernus Marines. All different armor and loads of flamers and a back banner. So these are looking incredible.
I wonder what those bayonets look like on the old ones.
Well, there's one.
They might actually look good on yours, Russ, because you've got the sort of more square
they
shape.
might actually.
He's put them on a couple of the. Oh, you mean like these ones? Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yes, they do work on these ones. They're all
that looks good.
Yeah. So
we've all got like 40 or 50 of these, don't we? From
I've got
more than I can count.
I've put some on
my 7 though, so that's not many.
Yeah. But so that's looking really, really good. Warp Wings army. Yeah, that's going well. He's going to start on Terminators next, so looking great. Very good ideas there. The Badab War. This time I've completed my Fire Angel, Inceptor Squad, and a Chaplain. Only need to build a Dreadnought to have all the miniatures for Combat Patrol. There we go. Dreadnought. So what is that? What Fire Angel, Inceptor Squad, a Chaplain, and a Dreadnought? What army is that? What Combat Patrol is that?
I think that's the older Dark Angels one, which is like 3 Inceptors. A Dreadnought, a Chaplain, and like 5 Intercessors or something like that. It's a really bizarre combat patrol, but it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, these are looking great. It's some of these photos are quite dark, which I always find a bit hard to see on this. But some of them these ones are looking really pokey. A lot of conversions, I think, happening there as well, which is quite nice.
The Chaplain looks very cool.
Yeah, where is he? There he is. Yeah, that's looking great.
Nice.
With the old Nemesis Fox Sword.
I mean, resting your sword on your shoulder is good with a regular sword. Is it good with a power weapon?
Is it good? Are you slowly making a dent in your armor?
You wouldn't rest a lightsaber on your shoulder, would you?
Mazu says, hasn't got a huge amount done this month. to the Exorcists, and that has nothing to do with my attention being split between Christmas preparations and the other demon release lads in red. I have applied washes to the Devastators and Tech Marines, and I started work kit bashing Silas Alberic. So Mazu's got a bit of progress. There you are. That's okay. It's okay with this to get only a bit of progress. One of the nice things of going from kill team to combat patrol is not many models to paint. So yeah, that's all very good. Well done.
Yeah, it's nice.
Court of the Yellow King, my finished Minotaur's kill team. So we're a episode behind. I had a spare, easy to build Infernus Marine, so decided it'd be fun to include him too, even though he can't really be included. Happy with how they turned out. Going to do some Sons of Medusa next. So, that's looking really good actually. That's a big beefy Minotaur at the start there. Big beefy sergeant.
Yeah.
The
Nice
Roman style
Yeah, it's a
Vexilla
nice
works
looking-
really well with them, doesn't it?
Nice looking bronze as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Very
the throwing
fitting.
guy. Yeah. I like those. They're really, really good. Brilliant. Well done. There's the Infernus Marine here.
I wonder, the sort of the shoulder pads that Death Watch get with all the text.
Yeah.
I bet you that looks really good in that brass.
Yeah. The engraved ones. Craigar has got so another Lamenter, Captain and Librarian ready for combat patrol. And these are these are the ones, the current ones, right? These are the same as you've got, Gary.
Yes, this is the same one. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
this is
Leviathan
the
ones,
ones.
yeah.
He's not
From
wearing his helmet.
Leviathan, the actual combat patrol. I really like that pale blue. I'm always a big fan of that sort of thing. Dusty blue color.
Yeah,
Pastel.
looking very, very neat.
Very good. Lovely. Will has finished my Astral Claws Sergeant this month and made a bit of progress on the rest of the team, including kit bashing a Corpse Taker Apothecary from some Leviathan bits. Very nice, shiny little Astral Claws there. Very, very, I like the high contrast, shiny armor and some like random grabbed like Mark III
I do love that
backpacks and
Corpse
things.
Taker.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, the gold trim gives it a bit of something.
It's one of those nice armies, isn't it? Where it's like it's all just silver, and then you can go to town on like head details, stripes, armor, pads, and you only have to do like the head and the pads, and it looks good.
Weathering and washes. Yeah.
Do the fun bits.
Astral Claws are the Iron Warriors of the 40th millennium.
40K, yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, so True Trans Shark Alicia, who I think is a newcomer, has a former Wasteland Queen Kakara on Astro Progress update. It's just a name change. Nothing's finished. 2 characters converted and waiting for a prime custom Judiciar and a lieutenant with a shield. Meanwhile, on holiday handles in the middle of painting, 2 squads are likely to be tactical marines built from the Mark 6 Legion kit. So maybe won't batch paint 20 Marines at once in the future. But yeah, the Sharks are coming along nicely. Nothing finished, but just lots and lots of very fun conversions with giant chain weapons, which is what we all like, right? I like the bendy axe. Big bendy axe is quite
and
nice.
A blade head on. I like the blade. I like the blade head on the Power Fist one.
Yeah. Very good. So progress toward a pretty sizable army. You must have a combat patrol by now, right? Within that. I think so. Oh, here's some more tactical squads in a different post.
Yeah,
like probably.
Yeah, there's got to be enough in there for.
Yeah, possibly for like a Dark Angel one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
which is all
guys.
Which one is it? It's all Marine.
The Space Wolf one's got a Dreadnought in it. The new Dark Angel one might be all Marines. Blood Angels is all Marines, but they're all jumpy Marines now.
Yeah, hang on, I was looking at that a minute ago.
Yeah. That's looking really, really good though. Looking really nice.
It's the three Blade Guard veterans, 5 plasma gunners, and 10 intercessors, and a captain.
Yeah, that might work.
Yeah,
I
so
assume
10
that's what they're going
5
for.
plasma dudes, 3 Blade Guards, and a captain. Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Cool. Fixter Upper Robin has finished their Terminator squad, but leaning more towards the Dark Angels combat patrol, which we were just talking about, to finally roleplay Star Phantoms in denial of their origins, working on some Devastators to use as counts as Hell Blasters or Plasma Cannons. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and then Inner Circle Companions to be Spooky Blade Guard. Yeah, brilliant. That would work. Yeah. So yeah, these looking really nice as always.
It's a very
Star
nice
Phantom.
white, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
So I
played
against
nice
Robin
idea.
at the
Robin at the Kill Team event.
Robin at the Kill Team event. Yeah, and he had, they were already lovely there. But I just say again, the white on these is very good white for Star Phantoms, isn't it?
It's also got that nice
sort of very cold grey white.
Yeah, with a little bit of dustiness from the floor weathered on, which I quite like.
Yeah.
Moving on, New Belgium is doing Astral Claws as well.
Really nice
are the ideal home for forgotten and overlooked Space Marines, and these second edition Space Hulk Terminators have set unlove for the best part of these players. I really like these old guys. They're like they're basically only got one pose of like normal size 90s. Yeah, I like them. They're very good. I like this army. Back banner in force there. That's looking brilliant. Nice.
I like how he's upgraded the flamer, because the old Terminators had the clip-on flamer that just
that was the first edition Space Hulk ones,
isn't it?
Oh,
these are the second edition Space Hulk ones.
Yeah, they would have had that. That is the right flamer. Yeah, but I know what you mean, Gary. I've got some of those flamers that are like a little egg shape.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing these, aren't they?
Yeah, Jack's ones are great. Yeah, so Sons of Medusa Combat Patrol's done. This much paid to Kit Bash Gregor's Captain and some Hellblasters running the newer Dark Angels Combat Patrol. So a few people doing Dark Angels of various sorts. I like the Blade Guard with their round shields, and obviously we've got some Hellblasters there. Yeah, these looking really nice.
Nice bright green on that.
Yeah,
and very nice plasma effect on the Hellblasters.
Yeah, the Graver Sky looking
better than
very
mine
good
for sure.
I like the red cloak, really sets it off as well, doesn't it? Yeah, these are all looking really, really lovely.
Yeah,
well done.
With
nice
Well
to
done.
see
So
the
Jack-
Mechanicum trim as well.
Yeah.
The Mechanicum trim.
If you give him a
Yeah,
snowy
of
Batesy,
course.
and he'll look.
Very good. Shrive says, still hasn't done any painting yet, but work in progress freehand for my Rhino Impulsor. Okay, built all the intercessors I need using bodies from Tortuga Bay. Going to run them as Black Templars so I can get scouts into the combat patrol. Okay, so this is Exorcists as Black Templars. No painting yet. Built though, which is nice. Can't complain. That's all I've done. With the embiggened Marines and a bit of freehand. Lovely. Well done. So, progress. Just need to paint them all red. Great. Mingles, painting too many different things instead of focusing on Badab, but at least it's clearing the backlog. Going to take my Termi Captain and Librarian from from my Nova Marines Combat Patrol. Shocked as we were to find it was on a 50mm base, but there's only some small conversions. So there we go. So Terminator Captain and Librarian. Lovely. Yeah. Great. Brilliant. All sorts of Marines smudged together in that, isn't there?
Yeah, I do like the cataphractory pads and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. That brilliant. Wolves of Sibba has finished their second assault squad. A captain in Mark III iron armor and a veteran sergeant armed with a power axe. There's also a Mechanicus advisor lurking there in the background. There we go. Another really bright.
That Mechanicum advisor.
Yeah.
The green is incredible on these guys. Yeah, I love it.
The shields are great.
Where does that Mechanical Advisor come from?
Hold on.
I think it's all hand sculpted and converted. I think it's
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Or it's
based on
really old
classic John Blanche.
Yeah. There's like some John Blanche Inquisitor models that look like
some
that
of the
without
bits
any of the tentacles.
look like modern bits.
I like it though. Looks good.
Yeah.
And I really like the really, really bright green. Yeah, these look fantastic. Brilliant.
Yeah,
So load of stuff done there. Need to paint up 5 more tactical Marines to reach 400 points. And then they're going to play 3rd edition Combat Patrol, 40k in 40 minutes with it. Moving on to Raven Robot, Andrew. Now, just checking here. Oh, yeah, here we go. Great. Accidentally posted the text in the wrong thread. These are now finished. Nemesis, Tiger Claw, Raiders Kill Team. First attempt at using contrast paint. Which saved loads of time. So Tiger Claws, made out of we've seen these before with lots of Chaos bits, looking really nice. Nemesis is the Nemesis Claw Kill Team as Tiger Claws, which is quite a nice idea, isn't it? Yeah, very choppy, very decrepit. What could possibly be wrong with these guys?
Very nice, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Look at that. All the lot of bedraggled little...
They look like perfectly loyal Space Marines to me.
Perfectly loyal Space Marines. The Astral Claws could definitely let them back in. Clarky666 says, not much painting done due to most of the FLGS be out of colour forged primers. Okay, but a ton of building and most of the planned 2,000 point list is done. Ironically, that isn't close as that bit isn't close to the other half of the Space Marines. Started making paints on the Pelican Black Star, and now just buried my usual spot in Prime Paint, Primaris Paints. There we are. So just various models assembled, ready to go for what I think is probably going to be Tyrant's Legion, and then a Pelican Black Star, not a Corvus Black Star, to transport them around in. This is the Death Watch, I think.
I do that model a lot.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah. It's a classic 40k brick of a
stock,
model.
or is that got?
There's some sort of conversion going on, but I don't know what it is.
It's slightly flatter. What is it? It's like the brick version of the stealth bomber, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a transport as well, isn't it? But yeah, no, that's looking good. So Clarky's got a 2,000 point assembled at least, which is quite nice. Macariel, Tim said no photos, so I can't really go through that, but not a lot done. Macariel, after painting up the Terminator squad as test models to the paint scheme last month, this month, more executioners. 17 Tactical Marines, 5 Infernus Marines, 10 Scouts, Lieutenant, Ancient, Dreadnought, Death Speaker, and Captain in Terminator armor. So loads of stuff, workable combat patrol, and loads to pick from for boarding actions. So Thomas has been getting loads done. Look at all this.
Thomas also, last weekend, we filmed a chat about Horus Heresy that I need to edit and try and get out in the next few days.
Yeah. So check out Russ's channel.
Definitely very busy.
Linked below. But yeah, loads done here.
In a few days, maybe, hopefully.
That's a huge dreadnought. Is that in a combat patrol?
Yeah, that's the... Well, no, I think they've painted loads and loads of
I don't think any
options.
of them have the ballistas.
Is this just something that's getting ready for the next step? Okay.
Yeah, so I think they've got like 2,000 points, and then they've got loads of options to pick from after this. Yeah, so loads there. That's looking really, really good. Executioners, so Will making good progress on their Howling Griffins combat patrol, where they're using Heresy era heavy flamers for my Infernus Marines. I've also got the Terminators finished and enjoy playing around with some diorama shots. So there we go. A nice mix of models there.
I love Will's photography. Like the next picture of the Terminator stepping through is incredible.
Yeah,
but I am very cross with Will because he's going around putting checkers on Howling Griffins, and checkers are for loyalists, not the filthy tax collectors.
You shouldn't be checking those checkers.
That picture's amazing. It's like that.
It's a fantastic picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you were a naval
0 out of 10 for being on a tax collector.
If you were a naval marine and you have to defend against that coming through the bulwark.
Yeah, can you imagine just being one of the... What was the kill team of Navy crew?
Yeah. Breaches.
Yeah, you would just be like, nope, I'm out of here. Bye.
That's why they welded the door shut, right?
Yeah, they did. The breaches can weld doors shut.
I don't think it'd stop him.
Cool. Right. Well, that's good for Mill. MC. The main thing I painted this month was the Gallo Dark scenery for a Badab themed kill team event at Bad Moon Cafe. Hey. Good idea. Thanks. Can't face getting it all out of its box. Sorry. I can't face getting it all out of its box, so it's top down as much to look at. But we did see them, and it did look good. And thank you so much. Very good. And then we've got some, what have we got? Just finished this. Yes. So starting out for some Lamenters doing the yellow Blood Angel combat patrols. So these are going to be assault intercessors, I think. No checks there to check yet.
Very cool.
Very bright.
I'll check the checks later.
Yeah. When they get some checks done, we'll check those. But they're looking very bright and very nice. Good. Andrew Dashboard, not a lot of progress this month. Managed to put together some Hellblaster style models for the Dark Angels combat patrol. Going to be playing Minotaurs for the next phase. Very nice.
Big plasma guns look lovely with the big chunky bodies there, don't they? They look really sort of intimidating.
Yeah, they look great. Very good. And then Bloodfeast Island Man, Ben, I made quite a bit of progress on the Firstborn Howling Griffins, Tactical Squad, some are being painted, Terminator unit to go in it, Las Cannon Dreadnought. So again, doing loads of stuff and then picking from it for the combat patrols. Venerable Dreadnoughts, Las Cannon Dreadnoughts, Epistolaries, because you have to have Howling Griffins famed for their battle psychers. The thought process of the army was to relive the excitement of when I first got into the game in 3rd edition, and I'm restricting myself to Firstborn. Good. These are survivors of a surprise attack by the Executioners. They're white battle damaged. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. So there we go.
The weathering is amazing.
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's exactly that's what happened.
He's been in the wars.
Howling Griffins deploy and then get attacked by the Executioners immediately. But yeah, this is really nice, actually. This is a really nice scheme, isn't it? Classic Venerable Dreadnought. Lovely. Classic old Dreadnought model. It's about the size of my one. Yeah, all looking really, really good. Who've we got next? So, Hosomi. I know they're just a sea of grey, but due to work and plain old lack of motivation, I haven't done any painting, and I still want to put these here to let everyone know what they've been up to. So, Lamenters, no checks to check yet, but just waiting on a regular dread to add to it. Yep, so lots of models built here. Sea of grey, of course. Sea of slightly shiny grey there with that old Tech Marine. And then, some assault squads.
Sparkly grey.
Demos Rhino.
Well, with a undercoat.
And some Terminators with bonking sticks. Brilliant. Great. So, again, like I've also only done buildings, so that's all fine. But at least you've got a ton of options there for the whatever you're going to build the combat patrol out of. Looking really good. Well done. Kazoo Raptor then, Welsh Ben, not much progress this month. Squad of Terminators for the standard Space Marine combat patrol. So some more Raptors Termies. I quite like that we're going to have Raptors Terminator version and Raptors Phobos version from Bobbie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're going to do snow bases to match? You can join up.
I haven't actually really decided what I'm going to do with my bases, actually. But I could do.
Yeah.
I think I've got some snow effects somewhere.
There we go. And Kazoo Raptor is our last update. So well done, everybody. Great. Many updates. There's a few things there where people have just done a ton of models. I wonder if a few people have got like time off for Christmas and have taken advantage of it. So well done, everyone. Many people have fun things there. Now we have one more thing to do this month. For Christmas, we're going to give away a prize. So I put up on the Patreon, everybody. I know, right? Last month, I've been trying to do this every month. I've been emptying out the loft of shame, basically. There's so much in my loft. I've been trying to get rid of a set every month. And it might be paints or everything. I did it as like but then I got told by Patreon, you can't do giveaways. You have to make it a competition. So the competition was for people to post, since I'm getting rid of my pile of shame, people had to post on the Patreon their most pile of shame, generically festively shame, or shame-based shame event, and whichever is the most entertaining stroke shameful, as judged by us, the panel of shame, will win. What I've done here, I got 76 entries. I've shortlisted the entries, and I suggest that each of us pick one and read it, and then we will confer and vote on who wins. So what I'm going to suggest is, Russ, would you like to pick a shameful story to read?
Oh, well, I'm going to read the first one then.
Okay, fair enough.
2 Christmas past, I asked for a basic resin printer so I could get back into the hobby by making a nice cheap proxy army of space dwarves. I'd always liked the old squats, but got into 40k for the first time just after they had been discontinued.
Ooh.
I started looking for suitable model STLs on the usual sites and found some decent free files.
Yeah.
However, these minis were scaled a bit larger than I suspected the old squats were, so I needed to get hold of an original squat model to use as a point of reference. One was purchased, then a few more, just to make sure their heights were consistent. 2 years on, I'm so close to being finished with the collection, as I have almost every type of squat miniature. The vast majority of Space Dwarf minis still sold, and more than 1,000 unique digital sculpts. However, the printer has yet to leave its box, and not a drop of paint has been applied so far.
That's good.
So that is our first entrance. It's a brilliant story. Bobbie, would you like to pick another story you like and do it?
I had a little peek through these earlier, and there's one that's caught my eye from Sonny Ross. Yesterday, I went into town to buy gifts for family and friends. With the money I had budgeted for family and friends, today I'm building Death Guard Terminators. I'm sure that's not at all related to having gone and spent some of that budget on Warhammer.
Very bad. Very bad.
Very bad. Very shameful. Gary, can you please pick one of these stories to read out for us?
Okay, so I've got by Jose. Last year, I managed to paint quite considerably throughout the months until I was asked by my spouse to give it a rest for the holidays to spend more time together. Stopping a good streak
Is
hurt.
this? Hang on, I want to interrupt. Is this a sad story about somebody breaking up with their spouse?
No, it's not.
What?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was worried that they were going to just leave their spouse and carry on painting.
Yeah, so stopping a good streak hurt. But I thought it was a worthy cause. So then Christmas Eve arrived, we had everything done, and in the darkness of the evening, I thought I could just paint one small squad. I didn't realize the passing of time. Thank you, Zinch. The next thing I knew was the night had having passed, and my spouse scaring the hell out of me by wishing me a Merry Christmas. Shame. The shame, it was real.
Painted all through the night and forgot to sleep on Christmas Eve, like a 5-year-old waiting for Santa.
I have done that due to alcohol in the past, but not due to plastic crack.
And I will
quite good at managed to get that far without breaking the streak, though. So holding off the streak for he did his best they could.
Okay, I'm gonna do one of my favorites here. I'm not sure how shameful it is because there's mitigating circumstances, but I, as a kid, painted my Hero Quest set, base coating them white using correction fluid and painting them using whiteboard markers. 30 years later,
God.
they are still in this sorry state. and my pride and shame when I visit my childhood home where they still sit on the shelves.
That's pretty good.
Oh, you know what?
Like,
we need a photo of that.
Learning curve, right? That's the learning curve right there.
The mitigating circumstances are, I'm sure we've all got stories like that from when we were children. I did just show a Sergeant Centurious who I chopped off the most important part. But yeah, we are now going to confer. We can watch the spinning image while we decide who has won. And we've conferred, and the winner is Tofty with the story about the brilliant story about buying an entire printer to print cheap squats, then accidentally ending up buying a completely metal original Rogue Trader squat army. Yeah, brilliant. I really like that.
Largely because I think that's basically me.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's us, right? We've all, yeah. I like the idea of yeah, it's brilliant. So now you can paint
the
them.
hobby is buying.
Yeah, the part of the hobby is buying. Fair. So we're going to send that out to you. You should get that after Christmas at some point. But well done. And there we go. That's another Tale of Four Gamers for the year. I'm gonna go and paint some orange and eat mince pies. I hope you are all too. Yeah. Have a good Christmas.
Happy Christmas to everyone. Happy Christmas. Merry New Year.
And we'll see you
enjoy
for some combat patrolling. See you later, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.